And Jonathan Frid, he was so sweet. He was such a sweet man. And looking back on Jonathan, when I first started working with him, I was this cocky actor, and I thought, the guy doesn't know his lines. Looking back on his work, he was phenomenal. I mean, when he overcame the lines and he got into those parts, he was brilliant. He was a great actor. And he was a technician. He could do it all. He was Shakespearean. He was classical. So, I think he was a phenomenal talent. Good for Jonathan. Yeah. Don Briscoe. If he had continued, I think he would have been a major star. He had the vulnerability, he had a great look, he had a sweetness, he had a risability. I don't know what happened to him. He's down there on the farm in Kentucky or Tennessee or something. But it's sort of a lesson. Don't mess with your talent. Don't mess with when you've got everything going for you. You don't have to help it along. You don't have to medicate it. You don't have to do anything. When you've got a gift, it's God's way of saying, wow, just live your life. Don't mess with it. And so many of us messed with it, and I think Don did, and it's a shame. Yeah. Grayson Hall. all I remember is Night of the Iguana, Oscar nomination. I am acting with her. I am on the same screen with her. I'm doing scenes with Grayson Hall. And she was human. She was just like the rest of us. She was an actor, struggling, doing it, forgetting lines, coming up to it. Grayson Hall was amazing. I'm still hurt, though, Grayson, wherever you are. You said that your eyes are too narrow. They're sort of they're not wide enough for the screen. I'm sitting there in the makeup chair, and she's telling me this, and I have never forgotten that. Isn't that weird? You remember these little things. I think another thing, Grayson, why is it? I think you said I was overacting a little bit too British when we did the first Dark Shadows movie. She said, just take it down a little bit. You're being a little bit too British. Yeah. Yeah, you're right, Grayson. Okay, yeah. But what a talent, what a woman. Thayer David. We were in the same apartment building. I would see Thayer David a lot after Dark Shadows. We lived on 57th Street. And I remember seeing him a lot, and then I think we all moved to Hollywood, and he came out and started doing Nero Wolfe. When I was doing the show with him, I was struck by this incredible actor who was so humble, who would say to Lila Swift, was that okay? I mean, should I do more? Should I do less? I mean, am I terrible today? The guy had no ego, and he was incredible. I mean, this guy was an actor. He was a wonderful actor. I did Savages with him afterwards, with Salome Jens and Sam Waterston, and Thayer David was Otto Mruder, or something like that. And he got even better. He kept getting better and better and better. So this guy is 50, 55, something like that, and he's still getting better. And that's a great thing to know, that you can keep getting better as an actor. So he's my inspiration. I want to keep getting better. And I think, when you hit a certain age and, you're not getting the sexy roles anymore, the young rebels anymore, the this or the that, but God, I just did Claudius and Hamlet. I just did something that he would have been great as. He would have been phenomenal as Claudius and Hamlet. I just did George and Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, another thing he would have been great in. But, he's my inspiration. You get better and better in spite of it. And he had diabetes. I mean, it was rough. Drinking Coke after Coke after Coke. Whoa, there. Yeah. Johnny Carlin. Now, he's a powerhouse, and he keeps getting better. He's got to get back to acting. He was really good on the show. He's really good on Cagney and Lacey. But every time I talk with him or mess around with him, you can tell about an actor that he would be incredible right now. So Johnny Carlin should, I think, get back to acting. Like I am, don't get out of it, get back into it. I think he was one of the geniuses of the show. I mean, real genius. I love his work. He's phenomenally talented. What a bunch. What a bunch of people. Huh. Kate Jackson was beautiful and single. Right out of the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. And you'd watch her work. And she was so simple. And all the rest of us were doing things, we were acting. And she would just do it. And it would be simple and honest and truthful. And I remember Laura Parker and I were watching her. And Laura said, she's really good. And I said, yeah, she's honest. She's not lying. A lot of us would get out there and do this really overblown, phony stuff, for an effect. But Kate was, and guess who became the big star? Kate. Do you know, I think Kate Jackson was supposed to do the Meryl Streep part in Kramer versus Kramer, but they wouldn't let her out of her Charlie's Angels. So interesting, if you think about what would have happened if Kate Jackson had done the Meryl Streep part. I think Streep got an Oscar. Huh. Funny about the way things go. I remember Louis Edmonds. My main memory is trying to cry over his bedside. He was dying, and I was playing his son. And I kept thinking, and my agent was going to be watching that day, Bob Lamont, and I kept trying to push out these tears. And instead of acting, I thought, well, just look at Louis and look at his face and see what happens. So we made eye contact. And because the guy just, I don't know, it was beautiful. He moved me. It was great, and I miss him. Great actor.